was so funny, bro. Thank you all for coming. We did it. We put on a show. Couldn't stop the show, man. And make some noise for the Redmond family for making it happen. Yeah. Legendary, because this is the thing. Because I performed in Portland a bunch of times. I've done Helium, I've done some stuff here, and then the SJWs got wind of me and started getting sad, and so I'm boys with Joe, and I was like, what's the one place where they would never go? I'm like, military truck and a place where men work. They're terrified of this place. And my beautiful wife's in the back checking everybody in. Make some noise for Amy. I love you, baby. Although she did get in my head right before I went on stage because of these big steps. She just goes, don't rip your pants. And I was like, that's the thing, I could do that. And that's all I kept thinking about. Well, Eric was just talking about that he's black and everything. I'm like, I'm gonna rip my damn pants. And then Eric's gonna make fun of me for being white. But, and by the way, if anyone feels like it and wants to bring me a beer, that'd be great. Hey man, you wanna bring me a beer? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was gonna bring a beer up, but the pants ripping thing. I was like, I'm gonna need all my hands. So, free beer, yeah. Thank the Redmonds. Like, how great is that? And he was telling me, he's like, it makes people happy. I'm like, it does. Makes people happy for about 4 hours. That makes people a little wild. Thank you. Cheers. So Portland is an interesting town. There's such a dichotomy of Portland. Some of the best people I know live in Portland, and it's like one of the worst cities to go to. There's so much, like the traffic. Here's the thing, like if you're in like Atlanta or Houston or a bunch of cities and there's traffic, you're like, oh man, a lot of people going to work. But when you're in Portland and there's traffic all the time, you know it's not for that reason. You know there's a protest. And it's like, instead of colored pencils, it has to be pencils of color. I'm dead serious, that's coming. That level of ridiculousness is coming. But they're like, it's not colored pencils. It's pencils of color. So they'll shut down all the street, except for the bike paths. They're like, no, they're going to a soy tasting. They gotta get... The cops are like, no, everybody that has to go to work. We gotta let this weird roller skating dick face. Someone just told me there's gonna be a 20,000 person naked bike ride. What's that, bro? It's all dudes? It really is? It's just all dudes. Or is it an actual sausage fest? Like, are they cooking sausages? Because they'd be soy, there would be no meat in those sausages. I can't imagine anything worse than naked bike riding with people. Like, you're just bike riding, there's just someone's asshole. Like, I'm serious, that's what would happen. You're just bike riding, just dudes naked. And the thing about what happens in Portland is they collectivized being a weirdo. So you can't spot them. It's like zebras. Because growing up, if there was a dude naked on a bike, that dude has to register as a sex offender. Like, that guy's naked on a bike. Cover Timmy's eyes. We're going inside. Call the cops. That dude's gonna register. He has to go door to door and be like, hey, my name's Gary. I'm a weirdo. But not here. You guys made a weirdo union. And everybody's like, hey, are we all just total pieces of shit? So let's just get naked, ride on a bike, be fucking intolerable to be around, and no one's gonna say shit because there's 20,000 of us and they need votes. Oh, thanks, Eric. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, you gotta feed the bear. Give the bear a little honey. The funniest thing is that I'm a comedian, obviously, and I always want people to know that. Like sometimes people are like, your followers are, like, have you gotten too radical? I'm like, no, I'm just normal. I just won't change with craziness. And they're like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. And then I just realized what I look like right now. Like if any picture of this goes on the internet, there's no way I'm ever convincing anyone ever again that I'm not like the leader of a militia cult. I'm just becoming an accidental warlord. I'm like, oh, I need a stage. People are like, oh, how about a giant military-grade truck? And then a bunch of people that would, kill people for you. It's like, all right. So, yeah. Because the thing about Portland is you guys are real into vintage. Not you guys, not the people in this room. You guys are the survivors. That's why you guys get so fired up for me to come to Portland. Like when I do Texas, it's normal, or when I do Oklahoma or something. Burlington, LA, Portland, you guys are like, Big Bear, you need to fucking come to Portland. Because you need relief so bad. Like you guys you pay taxes, big taxes here, and you legally can't pump your own gas, which is emasculating. Because they're terrified of any man that would ever get a callus on his hands. And you pay a lot of taxes here, and you wonder where the taxes go, and you're like, there's a real problem here with traffic. Everyone talks about the traffic here. And so you pay billions in taxes, and you're like, all right, what's the government gonna do to help the traffic? Are they gonna make another lane, like another lane for cars? They're like, no, gondola. And I live in the Adirondack Mountains where there really is skiing. You come here, and you just see a bunch of dudes in the summer wearing ski hats. Like ski hats. And they're going on a gondola. And I'm like, where's the gondola go? They're like, to a hospital. So think of the person that would require that gondola. Someone who wants to go to a hospital. What do we know about people that want to go to hospitals? They're in a hurry. Right? They're like, I'm dying. I need to get to a hospital. How do we get there? They're like, well, because of the taxpayers of Portland and the fact we're fucking retarded, we made a thing that goes a half a mile an hour and can take 15 people at a time, assuming they all have 10 speeds. And by the time you get there, you're dead. And then the vintage thing is, vintage is just another word for shitty. Someone's like, oh, it's a vintage bike. I'm like, no, that's refuse. Unless you're trying to look like a gay milkman from 1820. Like, where do you go to buy, like, good shit? Like, you're like, I want a good bike. They're like, good bike? You mean gay milkman 1820? They're like, no, I want to get somewhere fast. They're like, someone's got a job, white privilege. And listen, I'm friends with Eric. I wanted to be a part of like the black movement. Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face. But I wanted to show my support for Black Lives Matter, and they were doing a little parade. So I didn't want to just say nonsense. I didn't want to go there and repeat something I didn't understand. So I Googled. I was like, what is the #1 killer of black people? I want to stop that. In the whole world. Does anyone know? In the whole world, what's the #1 killer of black people? Malaria. Malaria kills 500,000 black people a year, and of course, it comes from mosquitoes. So I did what any black person, loving, patriotic American would do. I went to my local hardware store, got a bunch of tiki torches with citronella. Because I desperately wanted to keep the mosquitoes away from my black brothers and sisters. So I got a bunch of tiki torches, and I got my buddies, and we ironed out our khaki pants and tucked them in. And we went down there holding our tiki torches, and we're like, ah, And it was in Portland, so there was no black people there to stab me in the dick. I tried to get on board the feminist movement because all these feminists are out marching. And I think it's more just about walking. Like, I think people desperately want an excuse to go for a walk in a nice day. And they don't know how anymore. Like, back in the day, you could just go for a walk. It's like, hey, you want to go for a walk? It's beautiful outside. Now no one knows how to do that. It's like, do you want to go for a walk? It's like, to end the patriarchy? Like, no one knows, no one can define patriarchy either. These are all just nebulous terms. Patriarchy, what does that mean? You know, because you are it. I'm like, what did I do? It's like, you've had enough, man. It's like, my grandfather was a 7-fingered lead miner who died of the black lung. Bitch. I love saying it in Portland, because even my people in a fucking warehouse, you still had that reaction. The other day, last night I did Eastern Washington, and I did Prosser, where they developed, just a quick story, and then I'll get back to my joke, but where they developed the atomic bomb. That's where the atomic bomb was developed in Eastern Washington, the Tri-City area. You're allowed to say, the Manhattan Project? It's been like 70 years. What's that? You don't like to talk about it? Why?
Because we're white.
Because we're white? What the fuck? That was weird. But that's all good. Oh, Eric loves it. Every time you kneel, Eric smiles. He's like, yeah. No, go wait in the car. I'm just kidding. What the fuck was I talking about? The atomic bomb? Oh, yeah. So last night, just to show something crazy, they're like, oh yeah, we made the atomic bomb. I'm like, which one killed more Japs? The first one or the second one? And they were like, whoa. I'm like, you think it's more offensive to abbreviate Japanese than to blow them up? And that's what's fucked about our culture. We're scared of words and we never address action. So anyway, I think it's more offensive that we call them Japanese. Their real name is like napalm. Do you guys know that? Is there any Japanese people here? Are you really Japanese?
50%.
What's the name of the country for real? Like how you guys say it? Napalm? How do you? Niho? Niho. Niho. That sounds nothing like Japan, right? So people go to Japan and they're like, what do you call yourselves? They're like, Niho. And we're like, Japan. And people find it offensive that we abbreviate a nonsense word. It's Niho. It's like ni. It's Jap. It's all good. Anyway, I just think words are great. I think words are hilarious. So I tried to get involved in feminism, and I went to one of these marches, and I did some research what they were all about. So I as the women were marching, it was not really a march, it was more like a shuffle. But I started handing out condoms to the girls. You know? I'd be like, hey, excuse me, here, use this, use this. And I'm like, I don't approve of what you're up to. I'm more of a family man myself, you know? I think one day you might regret all this strange that you're putting down these days, but if you're gonna do it, which I know that's why you're here, go ahead and use a condom, because, you know, there's people who love you in this cruel world. And then I do it to another guy, hey, use this condom. And they're like, what are you doing? This isn't about sex with men. I'm like, yeah, listen, maybe I have been permanently banned from Twitter, but before I was, I saw what you ladies were up to. I've read the tweets. They're like, it's about, I'm like, pound me too? Listen, that's pretty direct language, ladies. Enough is enough, pound me too. It's like, for the love of God, just be a little more mellow about it. You don't have to beg for it. And they're like, that's a hashtag. I'm like, I'm 38, lady, that's a pound sign. So in my head, I just keep seeing a bunch of hungry ladies. Pound me too, pound me too. I'm like, what the fuck? It's all about families, man. It's all about having a kid. Life changes for the better when you have children. You settle down, especially as a man. Monogamy is great because it's the first time you actually can like have hobbies. Like if you're just out looking for strange women or you're just dating, you're always dating, does she like me? Why didn't she text back? The little 3 dots came up and then they went away, what's going on with it? No, lock in one woman and then you're free. You're like, I'm gonna start collecting stamps. Like you have all this time. And without that, you're just wasting your jizz, man. You're just running around like a jackass. And having kids is awesome because one, it's very humbling, especially witnessing childbirth. Because I thought I had a really amazing penis. I did. No, I really did. My wife did a great job being like, wow, that's such a great cock. And I'm like, yeah, it is, isn't it? She's like, I could barely take that cock. I'm like, right on. And then I witnessed childbirth, and I'm like, oh, you can take 1,000 of my cocks. I'm like, thanks for making me feel special for a while. And I really meant that. I wasn't being sarcastic. I was like, thanks for letting me feel that until I witnessed what could potentially happen there. And breastfeeding is cool. I'm 6'7". I was breastfed for 30 years. That's why I'm so big. My parents are both this big. I just wouldn't let go of that tit. Very nourished. And no, but breastfeeding's cool, but me and my wife were in a museum right after Walter was born. We're just looking at random shit. I don't really like museums. I don't get it. I just stare and nod. You know, looking at some tapestry, some fucking weird shit on it. And she's like, I need to pump. And I was like, are you serious? Because we hadn't had sex in months because of the post-pregnancy, just no sex vibe. We had a vibe, but there was no penetration. And so I was wound up. I mean, I was cool. But the green light was big. When she's like, I need to pump, I was like, do we go behind this tapestry? I'm in. And she's like, no, I have to breast pump. I'm like, what is that? And she was like, when you breastfeed, you start making milk, and then your breasts get so full of milk that they start to ache, and you have to release the milk, or else it just hurts. And I felt like this was a teachable moment. So I was like, baby, that's exactly how my balls are. And she's like, seriously, that's what it feels like? I'm like, exactly how it feels like. She's like, so they get so full they have to be released. I was like, yes. I was like, life's gonna change. It didn't. We didn't have sex, but at least she understood. So I tried to put my dick in the breast pump, but it was really painful. My brother's hilarious. My brother has 3 children, and like my wife right now is 30 weeks pregnant, where it gets rocking, and you start seeing people, yeah. Yeah, another boy. That's why the more I watch this, what's going on in schools, where it's like, look at little Skylar wearing his Boys Suck t-shirt. I'm like, homeschool. Fuck that shit. Anyway, so people just start rubbing bellies of pregnant women. You know, they just come up, they're like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, like how many weeks? And my brother's so funny, because like people do that to his wife, they're like, oh my God, how many weeks? And he's like, why don't people rub my balls? And he's not joking. He's like, yeah, that's the life. How do you think the life was made? Like, why aren't anyone like, oh no way, you did such a good job? The funny thing about my brother is it's ridiculous, but it's kind of valid. One time he was like, man, He's like, my buddy went to jail for a year. He's in jail for a year. For bullshit drug charge. Full year. I was like, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. He's like, lucky fucker. I'm like, what? He's like, no rent, no bills. Just a good time, just his own little area. He can do whatever he wants. I'm like, what the fuck? Another time he was like, man, if I was one-armed, I could never be handcuffed. Valid. It sounds crazy, but he's right. Another time we're at a restaurant, and he's just looking over at two people, and one guy's outside smoking, and the other guy's inside, and he's like, man, I wish I was deaf. I'm like, what? He goes, they can talk through glass. And I look over, and they're continuing their conversation. He's like, we can't do that. If I go outside for a smoke, we can't keep talking like the deaf people. Lucky fuckers. I'm like, you can learn sign language. He's like, no, I can't, brother, I'm not deaf. What's that? You got hands and you can see? One more time? My brother said I have hands and I can see. He said that?
Grateful video.
All right, yeah, that was a good video. But see, you don't understand, like right after that video, he'd be like, I'd sell my dick for $1,000. He goes back and forth. He's more artistic than I am. I just know how to write it down and engineer it. So at the end of the day, I'm like, wait a minute. You want to be a deaf, one-armed man in prison? And he was like, you're not even listening, bro. If I was one-armed, they couldn't have fucking arrested me. So stupid. Whoa. What made that noise? What's that, bro?
Welcome to California.
California. This is Oregon, right? One more time, bro? Is there a difference between Oregon and California? Yes. They're different states. Bro, for your birthday, I'm gonna get you a cell phone and Wikipedia. No, but I know what you're saying. You're talking about the soy. No, but California is huge. Northern California, Middle California has really great people in them. What's that, bro? Huh? Your dick and your balls fall off when you eat too much soy. That is true. When I drove from Seattle, no, it's okay. These people are cool. I don't mind hecklers with a crowd that's good because I assume you're contributing. Like, I don't feel fear when I hear yelling or anger. Like, someone's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, what? And they're like, this reminds me of the time you said something similar. I'm like, you don't understand, man. I've had shows where it's like, I'll fucking kill you, and then I have to react to that. So that's why when you guys yell out, I'm like, oh, maybe you remember a tag that I forgot. I don't know. But yeah, the soy will make your dick and your balls fall off. Like like growing up, we had a bunch of soy fields where I'm from. It's an agricultural area, and a lot of us used to work in the fields, and we would, we'd work hard in those soy fields, and all the old timers would say, don't eat the soy because your dick and your balls will fall off your body. And we thought that was ridiculous. We're like, that doesn't happen, but the risk versus reward wasn't good enough on that. You know, the odds were almost zero, but the devastation wasn't worth the risk. So we're always just shipping out the soy, just plane after plane. We just see it take off. We're like, who the hell would take that risk? And I never knew where the soy went or who ate the soy. And then I came to Portland, Oregon. And I saw dude, vegans. You guys, like Portland, they open with vegan. It's like, hey, my name's Owen. They're like, my name's Brad, I'm vegan. I'm like, why'd you just tell me that? They're like, I'm cruelty free. I'm like, this conversation is not cruelty free. And neither am I, bro. I'll gut you. I'll fucking gut you. Dude, I think knives are way crazier than guns. I own guns. Guns are awesome. I think people coming at guns, yeah. Like, but people think guns are this crazy thing. You know, David Hogg just rollerblades into a scene. He's like, no more guns. I'm retarded. And then he rollerblades out. And I'm like, dude, guns are. I would never allow guns to be banned. Like, I would do anything to stop that. But knives to gut somebody, ugh, closing radius 20 feet, man. Just yeah, that's real life right there. So it's funny how they keep saying assault rifle. They're like, AR-15 has to go. I'm like, why? They're like, assault rifle. I'm like, why do you call an AR-15 an assault rifle? They're like, AR, assault rifle. I'm like, that's not what AR stands for. I'm like, if I'm forced to learn what LGBTQAI means, which is way more letters than AR, why don't you learn what the fuck AR means? It's like LGBTQAI. That's where it's at right now. What's that? There's a P, yeah, the pedophiles are coming in hot. They're trying to make those motherfuckers normal. You see that shit? Just fucking send it, just send it. All right, I'm gonna get too pissed off. I'm gonna focus on other jokes. I can't start talking about that shit or I'll just, this will become very military truck. Dogs are cool. I'll show you. Being a dog is great. Like one of our dogs, we have 4 dogs, 10 chickens. We have a bunch of life in our house just running everywhere. And 4 dogs. One of our dogs loves licking his own penis. And I mean loves. What's that? George. Yeah, no, it's actually Benny. But this is before, it's a couple years ago. But it's a true story. So Benny started licking his own penis, and he wouldn't stop. And I'm looking at him like, what's going on with you, man? Because I understood a little bit, where it's a little taste, but not this compulsive shit he was doing. He just wouldn't stop licking. I'm like, listen, I get it. You can do some really fun stuff with that, but you got to calm down. So he's licking his wiener until it got so raw that we had to put a cone on his head. We had to take him to the vet, and with the shame in our eyes, be like, our dog is a sexual predator, you know, on himself. And so the vet understood a little too much. The dude was like, no, I get it. I'm like, really? And put the cone on his head. Now he's home and he couldn't lick his own wiener. He's just like sitting there pissed. He's like, and then we come home from something, and one of the other dogs is licking his wiener for him. And Amy was disgusted. She was like, what is he doing? I'm like, I don't know, a little something that we like to call friendship. They're making a Disney movie out of it. Because men and women are different, you know? Portland doesn't think so. Portland thinks men and women are identical, and it's only societal pressure, which is why women aren't better fighters. I'm 6'7", 260, like, and they're like, oh no, this little girl, this little 100-pound fucking hipster chick can beat you up if it wasn't for patriarchy. At that point, you just start beating the fuck out of her and hope that there's someone there to like write it down so that more people don't have that problem, you know what I mean? I'm joking, guys. That's not real. I realize that sounded very violent. I'm riffing. I've never written that down or anything. I've never said that before. But like this is how I think it is our genders. I think men are capitalists and women are communists. And I'll explain. Women are communists. Men are capitalists. We like to support greatness, you know, and women like to support the weak. Like if you're at a bar and there's a group of women, there's like 5 or 6 women, and they're all having a great time, but one is having a bad time. That's the girl who dictates the rest of the night. You know, there's 5 women that are like, oh my God, we're having such a good time. And then one girl's like, oh my God, Brian's here with his new girlfriend. I'm so sad. And then the other girls are like, no way, Tina's sad. And that's like Voltron. Get on a unicorn, lick her tears, we're out of here. And they're out. That one chick just dictated the whole night. Guys aren't like that. If a guy's like, hey man, I'm really sad, it's like, get the fuck out of here. You're dead weight. You're taking down the whole team. But the opposite is also true. Like, men promote greatness. You know, it's like, he's the fastest. I'm gonna make him captain, and I'm gonna follow him. That guy's the funniest. He's really good at public speech. We're gonna give him a microphone, and we're gonna support him. Women are like, she's the prettiest. Tell everybody she has herpes. So, because there's sexism against women, I get it, but there's also sexism against men. We just don't bring it up as often because we like to be fun to be around. Like, I'll give you an example. It's acceptable for women during sex to say deeper. You ever think about how funny that is? Like, men are trying to get approval from women, whether it's our mothers, our wives, our daughters. We're just trying to work hard and do good. Did I do good? That's in the eyes of every man. Even when we're trying to talk dirty to our wives, you know, we're like, yeah, baby. Yeah, you like that? It's still a question. Yeah, you like that shit? You like that? She's like, deeper. You're like, oh, yeah. You want it deeper, huh? Like that? You like that? Like that? She's like, deeper. You're like, baby, I'm running out of ideas here. Ladies, you think we're holding out on you on purpose? The fact women say deeper means they think it's a choice. That we're pumping shallow for our own reasons. That there's a man who exists who's pumping. And the girl's like, deeper, and he's like, not yet. Baby, not till Christmas. I told you, I had a surprise. How would women react if we said tighter? If you're offended, just know it's the same fucking thing. But we're not offended by deeper. We think it's great because at least it's a task. It's direct language. Even though we know it's impossible, we know we got no more dick left. We know that. But at least you're giving us an order, and we're ambitious fuckers. You know, you're like, deeper. We're like, Captain, I'll find a way. I'll trim some pubes. I'll lose some weight. I got another quarter-inch in there, coach. Just let me back in the game. Ladies, on behalf of every man here and every man that will ever live, we're all going as deep as we possibly can. From our first pump to our dying pump, we keep no cock for ourselves. And when I die, that's all I want to be known for. I want my tombstone to say, here lies Owen Benjamin. He gave his wife Amy every inch he ever had, and he died alone on this hill, and he never fucking ate soy one time. I've eaten soy before. I'm gonna play you guys some music. You wanna hear some music? Awesome. Can you guys hear that? The song's called Canon in D, right? It's a great song. Women love this song because it's associated with weddings. This is the wedding song. When you play this, women are like, that's my song. And I love weddings. I love weddings. I used to play piano at weddings. I had a wedding. They're great. It's a great commitment, right? But here's the thing, women are easily manipulated with that song. Advertisers know that about women, and women are not materialistic. They don't care about stuff, but they care about you being in pain for them. And I don't know how else to put it. They need to see it bleed for them, and money's an easy way to do that, because all the dragons have been killed, right? They need to see that you'll just do crazy shit for them. And now it's money. So every commercial aimed at women has that song playing underneath it, like mind control, for shit that they don't need. It's so tricky and weird. It's like, this Christmas, give her what she has wanted all year. And women are like, what have I wanted? Show her she is the core of your world. Show her that and you love her as much today as the first time you saw her. Show her with this double-hearted pendant thing. 2 hearts welded together by Jane Seymour. She's not a jeweler and has been divorced 5 fucking times. And it's like $6,000 with the resale value of a sandwich. But your girl's worth it. Isn't she worth it? This Christmas, get her a Lexus and put a big red bow on it so your neighbors fucking hate you. You know Lexus, it's the same exact car as a Toyota Camry. It's made by the same people, literally in the same factory. But since it has a rear view camera on it that you don't need because you know how fucking mirrors work, it's $20,000 more. But you'll buy it because the person you love the most in the entire world is now associating her self-worth with this inanimate, overpriced object. Happy fucking holidays, bitch! Thank you. By the way, I was calling the dude a bitch. No one knows that. Happy holidays, bitch. I was talking to a guy. Like, you'll buy it, bitch. No one cares here. I'm never going to be super rich because I just don't see the value in getting very, very wealthy if you have to compromise your time. Like, I have friends that are worth like hundreds of millions of dollars, and a lot of them have no life. It's weird. I'm like, dude, let's hang out. My buddy's like, dude, I gotta work. I'm like, bro, like, you won. He's like, no, I need a legacy. I'm like, bro, Julius Caesar took over the whole world and he just got a salad. Like nothing really comes. Just spend. And, you know, when you're rich, you wake up with the same nightmares. You're just on sheets with a higher thread count. And I guess that matters a little bit on your sweet ass. But if I was ever rich, I would just spend money on hilarious shit. Like the Redmonds, like this. This is legendary. The fact, I look up to this family a lot, dude. I legitimately look up to this family. Like, this shit is what resources are for. Like, you become a successful person, you're like, I want to have good comedy come to my place, free beer, fuck yeah. That's so rare. Like, that's what it's for. I mean, a lot of people that have done well in their life, they're imprisoned by it, you know? Not these guys are awesome. But if I was ever rich, I would do funny shit with it. Like right next to Best Buy, I would just open up Pretty Good Buy and just see if people respected the honesty. Like I would do this commercial on national television for no reason. I'd just be like, this Christmas, give her what she's wanted all year. Dish soap. Get that bitch back in the kitchen where she belongs. And that's where she knows she belongs. This November, when she goes off to vote, ask yourself, why does she get to vote? They didn't used to vote, not that long ago. And then there was a vote to see if they could vote that they couldn't vote in yet. How the fuck did we lose that vote? This Christmas, give her what she's been begging for since the first time you made love. That final inch of cock. When she says deeper, you look her in the eye and you touch her trembling lips and you say, baby, Merry Christmas. And you give her that 3rd inch. Imagine if the guy only had a 3-inch dick and he was keeping it to himself. You guys are getting hammered. I love it. I love it. You guys don't laugh anymore. You just stand up and go. Here's a relatively new song. It goes, how the fuck does this go? Everybody thinks the people of color are the ones who have that permanent tan. But the only people that can turn red or white or blue are the whites the only true colored man. 'Cause we're white when the sun don't shine, we're blue when it gets cold, we're red when the sun is hot, yellow when our liver is old, green when we're on a ship too long, and brown in the summertime. Whites are the only people of color, and that suits us just fine. When we wake up, we don't know the color of our skin, what we'll be. 'Cause we start at white and we turn blue, 'cause it's -30. Nothing on that one, you fuckers? I don't remember the words. No, I can do one more chorus. Here we go. We're white when the sun don't shine, we're blue when it gets cold, red when the sun is hot, yellow when our liver is old, green when we're on a ship too long, and brown in the summertime. Whites are the only people of color, and that means you need to give us money. Where's our money? We're born pink. Here's one just for Portland. No, I really wrote this just for Portland. What am I doing here? The city is insane. No room for my car, with 12 bike lanes. Grown men dress like they're homeless and look annoyed with their ironic mustache that's dripping with soy. And they're all sheep. They're all weirdos. What the hell am I doing here? Everybody is trans queer. I'll knock you off your bike and stomp on your soy tea. Your ironic t-shirt is pissing off me, 'cause I'm late for work, 'cause you're protesting gravity. I wish you were special, but you're pissing off me, and you're all sheep. Portland's full of weirdos. What the hell am I doing here? I'm not even trans queer. He's chugging all the soy. He chugs the soy. He chugs, 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 chugs. And he has full-blown AIDS. I don't know how to add this song. Thank you. a song about a special man I met in Portland once. There is a man who's afraid of dairy, and he's proud of the fact his balls never got hairy. David Hogg. On his driver's license under gender, it has a question mark and says other. His best and his only friend is his sadistic lesbian mother. She's a bitch. He can't give the D, 'cause he's got no T. Trump tweets give him PTSD, and he thinks that all guys should sit to pee. Equality. He's a BuzzFeed foodie blogger, which means he's unemployed. And he's always pissy and a bit bitchy, 'cause he is bloated from soy. He's a soy boy, he's so annoyed. He's a soy boy, he feels no joy. A weak chin and soft hands and a lot of demands. He's got mammary glands. He says his cat is trans 'cause of all that soy. He's a soy boy, and he's awful to be around. He thinks Sean King is black, and Caitlyn Jenner is a brave and beautiful chick. His ankles are thick, and he says shit like Colin Kaepernick should have been a first-round pick. He's an ally to women when he marches in the streets. But don't drink with him, ladies. He's Hillary on Facebook, but he's Bill in the sheets. Rape! He's a soy boy, he's so annoyed. He's a soy boy, he feels no joy. A weak chin and soft hands and a lot of demands. The dude's got mammary glands. He says his cat is trans 'cause of all that soy. He's a soy boy, he's a soy boy. His pants are soy, his odor is soy. He's soy-cum-sized. And he's always pissed 'cause he's a socialist. And he's awful, he's fucking awful to be around. David Hogg. Thank you. All right. Here's a real quick song. This one's dedicated to Eric. Being white is awesome. Cops pull us over just to give us high fives. Here's a quick one. I'm only racist when I drive. It's pretty funny. Does anyone have any requests before I start landing the plane? Huh? Sweet Home Pakistan? Oh, no, it's Sweet Home Palestine. I don't even remember the words. It's like, the one I did on Crowder, this one. I don't remember the words, but I'll give it a shot. They got bombs and shards of glass, and they're turned on by a sexy goat's ass. And everywhere they look, they see Ben Shapiro. Oh, sweet Palestine. I don't remember the words, but I could do another one. Hang on. Sweet Palestine, bomb, bomb, bomb. You guys are a bunch of fucking assholes. I just don't get why no one makes fun of Islam. Like, everyone makes fun of Christianity all the time, but no one makes fun of the obvious hilariousness of Islam. Like, no comic, watch Netflix, Comedy Central, nobody ever touches it, and it's hysterical. You know, like, I have one Muslim friend, and watching the news gets fucking uncomfortable, man. You know, you're just watching the news, and I'm just like, what's going on with you guys, bro? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, will you tell your people to stop, I don't know, killing innocents for no reason? You guys aren't on board this one for some reason. That's all right. I'll bail on it. Well, this is all I'm saying about Islam. I believe in freedom of religion. I believe in freedom of speech. I'm a fucking wicked, patriotic American. But all I ask out of Muslims is just don't pray on a plane. That's it. That's all I ask. And I said that to my buddy. I'm like, hey man, how about you guys just don't pray on airplanes? That's all I'm saying. On an active runway, why don't you go ahead and check that one at the gate? And he's like, you pray on airplanes? I'm like, yeah, because when you see a Christian praying on an airplane, it might be a little weird, but when you see a Muslim praying on an airplane, it's fucking terrifying. Because my God is kind. No, I'm just kidding. I'll stop. Who gives a fuck? Make fun of crazy shit. I make fun of anything. All right, so here's a song. Eric stole my bike? No, well, the funny thing about that nigga stole my bike is I rewrote it a little where the guy isn't even black. Like, this is a new rewrite of that. I'm not quite ready, but come on, we're in a fucking warehouse. Yeah, I gotta get the right sound, hang on. It actually, I'm not gonna tell you what it's about, you'll see. All right, I'll do it, and then I'll land the plane. I gotta find, because there's a really cool sound on this thing. Hang on. Synth, yeah, synth. That nigga stole my bike! Turns out that nigga's white! Trudeau stole my rights! Stole my rights! That's the adjustment I've made thus far. It's a work in progress. Hello, Eric. Yeah, we all get to use all the words. What I said wasn't racist, it was hilarious. That's why people on Twitter were like, hey, you're racist. I'm like, I've never called a black person that ever. I called Justin Trudeau that. And he's not black, so I can call him a nigger. It makes me laugh. I'm sorry, it makes me laugh. You know, back in the day, if you called a man yellow, he had to fucking fight you to the death. If you're like, you're yellow, they'd be like, you're a dead man. You know, and now, if you call someone a coward, they take it as a compliment. They're like, thank you, so, you know. And I'm fascinated by the color yellow. Because I've always wanted to be a real musician. You know, and I'm not a real musician. I could play this when I was like 5. And I'd always write, like, I wanted to be one of those guys that wrote real music, like real. Want to know something really ironic and hilarious? One of the reasons I felt uncomfortable doing that joke is there's too many white people here. I can't do the joke in front of all the whites on a fucking military truck. Because I feel like it becomes a meeting real fast. Like 70% black Cleveland, I'll fucking crush nigga stole my bike. But here it's a little too like, yeah. I'm like, I don't want to touch that. It's true, right? Did you feel that a little bit? All right, so what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah. So I always wanted to be a real musician, like a real ballad singer, like a guy that like wrote songs like this, like. Writing my own music and everyone always laughed. I got into comedy not by choice. I loved comedy, but I didn't know I was a comedian until I'd write real music and people would be like, you're hilarious. And I'm like, what was the joke, Dad? You know? Because honesty is funny. Lies are romantic, apparently. Like, this is an honest love song I wrote. It's called Every Relationship from a Man's Point of View. Why are you mad? What did I do? Why won't you talk to me? We just woke up. I can't think of anything I could have done. Did you have another bad dream about me? You had a dream I cheated on you, and now you're mad in real life. Well, guess what? I had a dream I was getting raped by a duck. I'm not mad at ducks, 'cause I know it was just a dream. If you stay mad, that means you're crazy. Thank you. But that's honest. This isn't honest. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. That's called Stockholm Syndrome. It's like even like some of my favorite songs, the guy can't even speak English. Like Pearl Jam is one of my favorite bands, and he's got a song called Yellow Ledbetter. Yellow, right? He's got a song called Yellow Ledbetter, and he doesn't even speak English. This is my impression of Eddie Vedder singing Yellow Ledbetter. On a sailor on a poor shoulder, her hands wanna lay hold, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. How about a hee-haw, yeah, oh, round the world. And it's the same. Bob Dylan? Yeah, Bob Dylan can't speak. This is my impression of Bob Dylan singing. Yes, and how many roads must a man walk down because you call him a man? That's real. How about this? It's like, forever young, forever young, yeah, but you stay, well, forever, yeah. He sounds like a kazoo. Give me the saddest song in the world, and I'll show you that nothing's sad with a kazoo. Huh? Tears in Heaven. Tears in Heaven's so sad I can't listen to it. I'll do it. What's that? One more time? Fast car? What? You fucking homo. She's got a fast car. I don't know where I've been told. That really gets you sad? She's gonna be my forever. I will going through the hill. Well, Tears in Heaven. Okay, so let's do Tears in Heaven. I'll do more than one. What is it? No, you. Mad World. Okay. in heaven. You can't make anything sound not ridiculous with a kazoo. Give me one more and then I'll close the show. Huh? What? Candle in the wind? What the fuck? Candle in the wind? Goodbye, Norma Jean. Goodbye, Norma Jean. Well, I never. I gotta do that. It's clearly not gonna be sad. No, she's retarded. She died from a drug overdose in a hotel. I'll close with that. All right, here we go. What's that? Okay. Ridiculous. All right, so this is so I like a lot of ballads though. There's a lot of ballads I like. There's a lot of but they're ridiculous. They don't have any meaning. Like Coldplay came out with a song called Yellow, and I really like that song. I'm like, that's a good song. I like Coldplay's Yellow, and then I realized the words don't mean anything. You know, it's like. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you. And women and gay guys are like, me? Everything you do. They're like, and it was all yellow. It's cool, but that doesn't mean anything. And this is why I started respecting Coldplay though, because I respect honesty. If you're honest about what you are, God bless, man. And what's that? Soy? I already played Soy Boy. Oh, you want to turn? Oh, you Chris Martin? Just let me fucking pace it properly, Jesus. Like literally, a girl could lean in to kiss him, and he's like, doggy style. Let me pace it, Jesus. What's that, bud? One more time? Louder, please. No, I'm not mad at you. I literally just can't hear you. I'm not mad. That guy didn't even get mad at me. He said one word that meant nothing. He went, soy. How fucking funny is soy? It makes me laugh because it really does encompass an entire culture where you're like, man, the soy's coming in hard. And you know what that means. It means a world without authenticity, where steak is soy and it doesn't taste good. It's true. It's a metaphor for everything. Soy. You pay more money to not have to have the blood of the kill on your hands, but a lot of fucking rabbits got killed getting your soy, but you're not willing to fucking admit that. People are gonna start getting dime bags of soy and shit, just snorting soy. They're gonna be like, yo man, I need that soy, dude, my dick's coming back. All right, so anyway, I'm watching Chris Martin on Howard Stern, and I respected him after that, because he was on Howard Stern, and Stern's like, what's yellow about? And I'm expecting him to say some bullshit, and he was like, yellow? He's like, I was trying to make me mates giggle. Like, we were in Wales trying to record an album, and I was like, look at the stars, they're yellow. And they're like, all right, Chris, what's that mean? And I'm like, not a thing. And then we wrote it on a napkin, and then we recorded it. And people seemed to really like the song a lot, but there's no meaning. It was a feeling I had in Wales. Yellow. And Stern's like, but there's meaning to the song. He's like, no, there's no meaning to yellow. And I'm just cranking it. I'm like, legend, because this is so cool for me. Anybody that just admits reality, I'm like, yes. And they're like, and Stern's like, you seem really sad. He's like, I get sad sometimes. And it's like, but the most beautiful women in the world love you. Like, everybody loves you. He's like, I'm not very confident. He's like, I'm British. We once had a very powerful navy until we started eating soybeans. And so I started listening to more Coldplay because I respect people that are like, it doesn't mean a thing at all. Because the Beatles didn't do that. I'll give you a song with just yellow in the title, Yellow Submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, a fucking yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine. There's nothing there. And people are like, what's Yellow Submarine? And the Beatles are like, we're not gonna say what it's about because it's so great. Fuck you, John Lennon, commie fuck. And so I started listening to more Coldplay, and I noticed something fascinating. Check this out. And if you know the lyrics, please sing with me, white girls. Check this out. You're a sky, you're a sky, you're a sky full of stars. I wanna give you my heart. Go back 10 years, same band, different album. Come up to meet you, tell you I'm sorry. It's exactly the same song. A little faster. Tears stream down your face and I will fix you in a sky, in a sky. It's one motherfucking song. It's one song, right? And normally I would make fun of that, but not after seeing his honesty. I respect it because there was probably a time in Chris Martin's life when his band was like, hey Chris, we got to write another song for the new album. And he's like, but people seem to like that last song we played. It made them happy. I don't feel happy very often. My name is Eeyore, and I can't find me tail. So I respect it. Maybe that's why I've never been a #1 hit ballad guy. Maybe that's why I became a comedian, is because I didn't play the right song. So I'm gonna close tonight not as a comedian. I've already done that. I'm gonna close tonight as my first dream, my real dream, to be a super serious ballad singer. So I'm gonna say the title of a song that I know you do not know, but I want you to pretend like it's real, like this is real feelings and shit. What's that, bud? Bro, it's a fucking industrial space. I need 3 repeats. I don't know what you say right away, because it's like, eh. What'd you say? One more time, please. Snow bell? Snow fell. What the fuck does that mean? It's all good. All right. So I'm gonna say the title of a song, and you guys freak out like it's real. Here we go. This next song, I promised myself I'd never play it again. But if we could go back in time just once, you may remember this one from back in the day. It's called OTPHJ. You're in a Walgreens and your girl's looking sweet, so you take her to the back of the store, to the blood pressure seat. You take her hand and you rub it soft and you look into her eyes. Before you know it, her hand is moving up your thigh. She's giving you an over-the-pants hand job in a Walgreens, over-the-pants hand job in a Walgreens, over-the-pants hand job in a Walgreens, OTPHJ. Okay, that was awesome, but now that you know the words, I want to sing along. And I'll be over there after if you want to do pictures or whatnot, and grab a beer or something, and then we'll just keep hanging out, because it's the first time me and my wife have been able to go out together in a long time. So, yeah. And I love that you guys all came out, and we just did a comedy show in a wood shop. That's what I'm talking about. That's so cool, man. It means a lot to a lot of people, myself included, obviously, because I didn't want to retire this baby yet, you know what I mean? All right, so this is what we're going to do this time. I'm going to say the title of the song, you guys freak out, and then I want the first line of the song to get another applause break, much like Journey, because when Journey plays, they're like... Just a small town girl. I want that. I want that. Why don't I get that shit? Journey gets that from Just a Small Town Girl? No, I get that from You're in a Walgreens. So my first line, you're in a Walgreens, ha. And then when I go over the pants hand job, you guys go in a Walgreens and you're fucking crying. It's really emotional. And then that's it, that's gonna be it. But it's gonna be awesome, and if it's not big enough, we'll start again till it is. All right, here we go. This next song, I promised someone very special I'd never play it again. Shut up. I'm not serious, that's just what the ballad guys do. They're always like, don't applaud too much. All right. You may remember this one from back in the day. I know I do. It's called, I think you all know what it's called. It's called OTPHJ. Fuck you, CVS. You're in a Walgreens. Girl's looking sweet, so you take her to the back of the greens, to the blood pressure seat. You take her hand and you rub it soft and you look into her eyes. Before you know it, her hand is moving up your thigh. She's giving you an over-the-pants hand job in a Walgreens. Over-the-pants hand job over the pants hand job, OTPHJ. You were discreet. The clerk didn't know what you were up to. But baby, it's time to go, 'cause they gotta clean up in aisle 2. 'Cause you got an over the pants hand job, over the pants pants hand job. Over the 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 pants hand job. And it was all yellow.